Molestation, to stand against stop molestation,
Yes.
and to control it and bring it to peace
Yes.
in New Delhi.
Yes. The number to send your text message, your voice note, or to call is on the screen: 97427434006. Once more, I say you share this particular edition of Stop Molestation campaign on your timeline so that your friends can comment, so that someone else can see it and they can have their say. You must break the silence and you must expose the molester, and we have to stop this molestation in India to our children and women. We have to stop these pedophiles and these sexual maniacs that's preying on children and innocent women and girls. So for us to do this, we need your voice. You've
Yes.
got to speak. You've got to say something, either whatever experience you had, or you have to share the experience some others have. And of a must, you might not have had experience, however the case may be. Some people claim not to have had. But however the case may be, I want you to share your opinion. Say, bring your voice out. I remember we had a caller. I'm not so sure if it is Stop Molestation Karnataka. I'm not so sure what state that is. He called and said, I am in this. I'm in this. We should stop molesting innocent people.
Yes.
And my voice is given for this. And I was trying to ask one or two questions, but it was off. It was offline. Clean, clear. It was offline. So he was done. You can do the same. You can call in, and we'll be able to know that your voice is in this campaign, this webinar to stop molestation. So today we're focusing on New Delhi, and New Delhi has been a very hot case. So
Yes.
Before we go on, I just want to tell our viewers, wherever you're viewing from, we are live on our social network pages, and that's Facebook and YouTube, and as well we're on a private radio station right now as well, and that's www.tanradio.net, and that's a private radio station. We're also there now. I have some very serious updates right here in front of me, and just before we started to prepare to come to the studio for New Delhi, the other day we got a case.
Yes.
Now I have the case right here on my screen. Can you speak and give us the report of that case? Today we have a very wonderful guest today.
Yes.
We have a guest today, and she's a lawyer. Wonderful lady
From Delhi.
from New Delhi.
Yes.
Good. So we'll be featuring our live today, and if you have any question, you can put your question on the timeline, and I am very sure our dear friend and our guest will be able to answer your questions
Yes.
together with us. So she's a Supreme Court lawyer.
Yes. She's practicing in High Court.
Yes, a High Court.
Yes.
Okay. So you can give the profile to the viewers.
Yeah, she is Priya Aristotle, and she is practicing in High Court, New Delhi. So from there she'll be talking to us today.
Okay.
So soon we are going to make the call and connect with her.
Yeah, so wherever you're listening from, you can make up your questions as you listen to her. But then before then, I would like to read for you a report here. A report, I may not have time to read the headlines because they contain Indian names, and I do not want to stammer with those names. It says here, it says an Ola driver in...
Yeah, that's the recent case that happened in Bangalore.
Yeah, go on.
I'm on another case. Yeah.
All right, and then I'll touch this case now. Here it says Bengaluru Ola driver allegedly molest passenger, forces her to strip for photos. Now, I really do not understand those people who will say, talking about it, why should we talk about it? Talking about it won't change anything. I still hold a stand that we have to pass the information. We have to educate people what to do in different cases. And as you watch this program, you'll be able to hear a lot of cases of people who are daring Indians and who really want to expose the maniac, sexual maniac and pedophiles in the society, whether they are relatives or not. They have the victims have gone through molestation, and they ought to expose the maniac so that the next generation will be free from this cycle of sexual molestation. So wherever you're listening from, go ahead, let us have your, I'm checking all the updates while I'm on the studio here. Go ahead, let's have your SMS, let's have your texts, let's have your voice notes, and let us get this thing rolling. Now we're about to call our special guest for the day, and she's Priya Aristotle, and we just have a couple of questions for her. So we will, she's from New Delhi, like you've heard Joanna said, spoken about her. So she's on the call, right? She's on the call. Yeah, calling. So when she gets on the line, we'll answer her. So send your SMS. I am monitoring everything from here. Yes, a call is going out to Priya. She's going to pick the call in a moment.
Hello?
Hello, welcome to Stop Molestation webinar.
Hello?
Online. Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you.
Welcome to Stop Molestation webinar online.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you. You're doing a great job.
Yes, thank you very much. You are our special guest today. You are a special guest today. So, if you don't mind, we would like you to go to a little quiet area because we want to ask some questions and we want you to educate the viewers.
Yes, I'll answer the best possible.
Yes. What's your first question for Dr. Lawyer?
Yeah.
The lawyer.
Yeah. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yes,
right.
I can hear you. I'm in a little noisy area, so it's just quiet.
Or do you want us to call, do you want us to call you back? Will you be in a...
Yeah, probably in 5 minutes, I'll just find a place.
Okay, then we will give you a call in 5 minutes so that we can have a very conducive environment to discuss with you online live. Thank you very much. We'll be calling you back. Now, yeah, thank you very much. We'll call you back. So the case says here that
In Bangalore.
that the Ola driver forces a girl. That is the
His
headline.
passenger.
Yeah, forces to strip off so he can take photographs. Do you think it will end in photographs? I'm not very sure it will end in photographs because no one else
Because he began
is there
with
in the
blackmailing
taxi.
her and dropped her back to the airport because she was on her way to Mumbai. And when she got to the airport, after he left her, he dropped her and he blackmailed her and threatened her. So she said to him that she wouldn't speak about this to anyone. And after he left, she made a call to the police. She complained to police, and that's how the news came out. And it's good that you voiced out. She spoke.
Yes.
She spoke to the police, and they were able to catch him.
Yes. If she had not given a voice, if she had not spoken, so how are we going to know such thing can happen in a taxi? How dare someone will say you don't have to talk about it, how much or whatever you talk about it is not going to change it? It will change it. It will change it. Now, I have an headline here also coming in from one of our friends of this campaign. It says, the headline says, father rapes daughter for 5 months in Gurugaon
Gurgaon, yes.
and tells her it's normal. See, so we see these things happening in the society, and then you want us to keep quiet about it, so that can continue, so that fathers can continue to do that, or whosoever that guardian or parent might be. You see, so you've got to break the silence. I have a couple of them here.
There's another news that out on bail, man forces himself inside woman's house, ties her up and rapes her for 6 hours.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? All these are on your headlines. All these are on your headlines.
They were all on the newspaper.
We are reading headlines. We are reading headlines on the news. So today, as we focus on New Delhi, instigating and telling the people to stop molestation in any way, in any form, in any fashion, whether you are a student, whether you are a housewife, whether you are whosoever you are, if you suspect or if you have any experience like that, immediately you do what this girl did. You call the police. Yes. You complain, and any police that will not take that report, I think there are many women who are threatened like this and blackmailed, and they keep quiet. It has been happening in their college campuses, in the school campuses, by their own lecturers. Also, it's happening in the family circle, and they tell them and warn them not to speak it out. And they say that if you speak it out, and they give threatening and blackmailing and all that. And I think even though you have a threatening like that, you still have to contact somebody. Yes. And make it known. Until then, you won't get out of this bondage. It's going to be very difficult. Yes. Until then, one will not get out of the bondage. Now, we'll be calling in a while, but then I have all these participants here who are sending in. Okay, so the number is right on the screen where you can send in your SMS. You can send in your voice note through WhatsApp. You can also call in live right now, this moment. You can call in. The number is on the screen. She's ready for the call. Can we make the call now? There's a call.
Suicide and Success Campaign incoming call.
Pick the call. Hello, welcome to Stop Molestation Campaign Online. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, welcome to Stop Molestation Campaign Online. Can we know you and where you're calling from?
My name is Akati. I'm calling from Delhi.
Okay.
Oh, you're welcome. You're one of our first callers from Delhi. Thank you very much. Do you want to say something about this? Do you want to share something with us, or you want to make your voice heard to the entire India about how they should stop molestation?
Yes, I do. I am a survivor in a sense that I have been molested as a child and as a teenager and an adult. And I've had to go through a lot of therapy and counseling to overcome it and the traumas associated with it. Now, but what I want to talk about is how it's not easy to go out and talk about it. It's not easy to go to the police because you are shamed. As a woman, it's always you who are put in this light that it's your fault, you know?
But don't you think we have to look at it from a different angle right now? Because this is one of the reasons for this campaign. Because people will call the molested and blame the molested for being molested. And they're already molested and they're putting shame on them. We have to look at it from a different light now. Because what you're saying is very, very important. You said it was very difficult to share it. Go on, caller, please.
Yeah, so basically I was raped and molested in my own home by a domestic help since like I was 3 years old till the age of 5. And I couldn't talk about it because there was so much shame and guilt instilled in me by the perpetrator. And I was constantly told that it was my fault and no one would believe me. You know? I was very young, you know.
What was the fault of a little child? Can you tell me what was the fault they said was yours? What was your fault they said they claimed?
I'm sorry?
What was your fault? They claimed that it was your fault, correct?
I mean, what?
Yeah, he claimed that it was my fault. Okay, he did it in a very smart way. I was just 4 years old, you know.
What was your fault? And what was the fault that he was saying that it was your fault?
Well, I had no fault, of course. I can see that now. The only fault that I probably did was that I gave into, whatever he said because I was a child and I couldn't think for myself.
Yeah, you don't know any better.
That is an
And he instilled so much guilt in me that I couldn't talk about it until the age of 2021. That's when I came out and spoke about it and decided to get help for it. Because these things leave a lot of trauma in a person's life and it affects our decision making today. As an adult, it has it has affected my life tremendously and the kind of decisions I've made. If I would have had a more supportive, if society was more supportive, like you and this campaign is talking about it openly, if everybody spoke about it openly and didn't just blame it all on the victim, the victim blaming has to stop.
Yes.
Yeah, so basically that's really what I'm trying to do now. In fact, it's so sad. Delhi, as you know, no place is safe for a woman, but Delhi in particular, I think there's really, out of 10 of my female friends and male friends, I know at least 90% of them, 8 out of 10 have had experiences of molestation in public places, in their own homes, So, it's really a matter of being vigilant and making sure that, people talk about it in their own homes to their own children. People in schools, they need to tell children that, and the young ones, not when they're teenagers. When you're younger, people need to be educated, good touch as opposed to bad touch.
Yes.
And, because as children, we don't realize and we're just learning.
Correct.
As a kid, I didn't know what was a good touch and a bad touch.
Correct.
I only realized much later on. So it's really, really important that we kind of talk about it in our homes first and in schools and institutions and even religious institutions like churches and mandirs or whatever your religion may be, it needs to be talked about in open.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you very much.
When you were indirectly blackmailed by the molester, what was the reason that you could not inform your mom about this, your mother?
I think it was now, looking in retrospect, I felt that I was doing something wrong in the sense that, I was, every day he would come to me and these things would happen and I gave into it because he was physically larger than me. He was a grown man. I was 4 years old.
Yes.
And I think also at that age, you don't realize, what's happening is sexual. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Or you don't realize it's abuse until, I think it probably, I realized what was happening was wrong much later on,
And
thankfully, that man was thrown out from work, after a month or so working with us for other reasons. But it couldn't happen again,
Yes.
Okay.
But
now,
didn't your mom, find some difference in you?
After the experience.
Yeah, because of some fear or certain
fear or
body language
too much
that you
attachment to him or whatever it is. Didn't your mother find any
because
difference?
These things are very sensitive that we have to watch our children. So
so that's another thing, my mom is a single mother and she would work every day. And we only had servants and maids who would basically help, who would take care of us and we'd be back from school, So I think this is actually very common with a lot of single mothers because I have friends who have single mothers and single fathers
and who had this
much more, common with because there is that space for spending, these people can spend time, pedophiles or whatever, they spend time with children on that basis.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So from this, thank you for calling and sharing because viewers watching.
Thank you for doing this campaign. It's really important and I really hope more people talk about it more openly.
Yeah, the viewers will understand through you, through your voice that they as parents need to watch over their children, and as a child, and now it's been more, we are coming out with this. Even little children will know, because it's going to be in schools, they're going to talk about it, and this is going to be a topic everywhere. It should become a common thing, a common education on this topic subject, so that the children will know, and they should be bold enough to speak, because in your time you couldn't speak because already you were threatened by saying that you are the one who is doing it. So now educating them is so important, and all these factors have to be noted. And also, as you said, as a single mother, the way we leave the children out, just trusting some people who come to work, give domestic help and all, we really have to watch over them and keep notice, otherwise we give in our own children into destruction.
Danger. Now, my dear caller, thank you so much. What do you have to say now to single mothers out there right now, and also to people who are there right now who are molested and not able to speak?
I think what I would say to them is there's no shame in it. Please own it. You are not at fault. Stop blaming yourself.
Wow.
The moment you do that, your journey to recovery and healing would begin.
Amazing. We're giving a standing applause to your response. Thank you very much for such bold. You're a woman with a difference. You're a woman with a difference. There are very few of them in India who are stepping out and making the difference by breaking the norm and exposing the molester and stopping the bondage of molestation. Finally, I would want you to say something about your rehabilitation program or what counseling you went through.
So I saw, of course, a licensed therapist, a counselor, but this was much later when I was in my adulthood as in my early 20s. And she was an incredible therapist. I went to rigorous therapy for almost like 2 years to kind of deal with my own emotions and to make peace with these things. But I'm aware that a lot of people don't have access to that. So I think there are lots and lots of, group therapy sessions and sessions which are free of cost. And, whatever, basically just you need to kind of really, really dive into that trauma and deal with it, and then kind of help others,
So finally,
have had similar experiences.
So finally, after you went through the counseling and the therapy which the counselor gave to you, you were out of it, and it helped you, did it?
Yes, for sure.
It can make
because I think until I didn't go to a therapist and dealt with it, I was just making very self-destructive decisions in my own life. And, it just was not, every decision I made, every relationship I had, whether it was my family or friends or boyfriend, it was just very self-destructive.
Thank you so much for calling in. I mean, thank you for being a woman with a difference in India, breaking the silence and saving the next generation.
No, thank you so much for having this platform. It's really important.
Thank you for calling. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow, what a wonderful caller, and she shared experiences and she's from Delhi. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I think we need to make the call because we have a question to Priya lawyer.
Yes.
There are questions here on Facebook to ask her, so we need to make the call.
Yes, can we put our guest on the line now, please? As we give a call to the lawyer. Yes, can we? Yes, hello? Welcome to Stop Molestation Campaign Online, Lawyer Priya. Thank you very much for picking the call.
My pleasure, Pastor.
Yeah, thank you. Now, you are a special guest for today, and we're looking at New Delhi Stop Molestation. And there are hot news about New Delhi, and I mean all the states in India, but now we're looking at New Delhi. There's so much news, I mean hot news
since 2012, since the Nirbhaya case, you remember?
Yes.
Yeah, since then Delhi has been really very hot on this. So how is Delhi right now on the cases of rape?
Yes, probably there is a lot more awareness that is happening now.
Okay.
And earlier probably there was a lot of hush-hush about it. But now people are getting aware, women are getting ready to protest against such active action.
Good.
And they are getting more united and they talk loud about it.
Okay.
And yes, Delhi is not only the capital, but they call it also the Red City. It's a very, stigmatic, embarrassing thing to even think about it.
But it's
In fact, first when I flew down south after my Delhi stay, a lot of people used to, tease me or scare me, saying, how is Delhi? And in fact, many people thank me that I have two boys and not girls. So that I am more secure with these two little ones, So it is quite heartbreaking to hear such things about our own place.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So, how is schools doing in Delhi? The education system in Delhi, about the schools educating the children on these conditions, on these cases?
Yes, they do educate. It is more talked about topic these days. In most of the classes, they do have sessions on it. In fact, we also had a parent orientation on it.
Okay.
So that even parents will be more vocal. We were all advised to be more vocal about it, guide our children, towards being more open about, so that not only in the school, but anything at home, they would also come back to the parents. So there's a lot more awareness programs that have been going on right from the kindergarten. It's not just for the upper classes, but right from the kindergarten, the awareness is setting in. This is with regard to the private institutions, but I'm not too sure how much of progress is made in the government schools, because most of these incidents go unreported only in these kind of areas, These kind of low-class people, the uneducated, the slum people, they know that they don't have voices.
Yeah.
These kind of people can be exploited, and there's nobody to question them. So a lot of things happen here, and I hope a lot more educative programs, even for these government schools and the underprivileged, will happen.
Yes. Okay. Now, I have seen reality shows on TV where they brought the father of the girl and the mother of the girl, and this girl have been molested for years, and they question them live. They question them live. My question now for all our viewers out there, as you as a valuable friend and lawyer, practicing lawyer, who really honored our invitation to be our guest speaker for today, I want to ask you, what can a child do in that case where the guardian or the parent is the molester? How can the child legally go about this? I want you to educate the public, all of us.
Okay. Earlier, the child did not have much of courage to speak about it.
Yes.
But since these days, it is more vocalized, and the schools also share about it. But this is just not enough, because it's more of an insecure atmosphere, because it happens within the home by trusted people. So it is quite a bold step which the child has to take, probably speak to the neighbors or friends or to the school teachers or somebody, because by, it is a real bold step which our government has taken in enacting the POXCO Act, which is the protection of children from sexual offences. And this act, which was enacted in 2012, as you're aware, really provides for protection of children even from their own guardians or parents or whoever is violating the child.
Yes.
And the beauty of this act is that anyone can complain. It is just not only the child, but a well-wisher or a neighbor who gets to know about this incident can help the child to lodge a police complaint. And the child itself can complain, and her statement is taken on record. She just needs anyone for that matter. In fact, the act is so, at least on paper, it is so good to look at, because it says that if a person is aware of such actions being done, against a child, he is under law bound to report it to the police. And if he doesn't do that, he will be penalized, up to 6 months or with fine, because this person is aware that something, untoward and abusive is happening to a child, and he knows about it. So if a child goes and reports it to, say, a teacher or a neighbor, and if that person fails to help the child, that person is in trouble.
Oh.
So, but this act has to be educated to people.
Yes.
I wish all parents and, everybody, every citizen. In fact, ignorance of law is no excuse.
Yes.
So I wish that everyone gets educated on these minor things which could really save a life, and stop the trauma of what a child is going through.
Okay.
And in fact, if the parents or anybody very well known under trust acts, in an abusive way, it is called aggressive sexual offense. So their punishment and the treatment is more severe. And in fact, the statistics say that more than 50% of offenses happen in families.
Yes.
And 50% of them are by known people, trusted people.
Yes.
So the act has taken care of this aspect also. So now only thing left out is for everyone to be educated about it, so that if the neighbors or family or friends get to know about it, they should go and report to the police boldly about it.
Okay,
Wow.
in line with this, there is a question to you from Facebook audience, Raj Lakshmi, and she asks you a question. This is the question.
Yeah.
She says, if anyone goes to police station to register the case, and if the police
Yes.
tell them that it's just a minor case, what actions can be taken against the police?
She can file it to the commissioner, to the higher ups, and even up to the Human Child Rights Commission also. There's a
Okay.
Child Welfare Committee. There are many other organizations or through NGOs. And in fact, if the police refuses to take a complaint under this act, the police will also be acted against. They will take action against the police because he has refused to file a complaint.
That's
Okay.
excellent.
Okay, and then she also says, law is paving
Yeah.
rooms for cure. That is, after the person is victimized. We have law to investigate and punish the guilty. But does the law give any loophole for prevention, and to what extent a girl can go to defend herself?
Okay. But prevention is something that as a society we should educate and try to be aware of.
Yes.
There's nothing, the law is there to punish
Yes.
and to take care of offenses. So preventive measure is something which by being educated as a society, as a family, we take care of each other.
Yes.
But anything untoward happen, then the law is always there to rescue us from what has happened.
Okay.
Yes. There's another
that's-
question
that's
you,
the
you
two
have for
questions.
her? Another
That's
question?
the two questions.
Okay. Now,
Okay, I think, okay, fine. There's another question from Facebook viewer. She says,
Yeah.
if a girl encounters one or two men suddenly who are trying to attack her to rape, and she defends and kills those men using a knife or a stone, what will be the consequence,
Yes.
and what the girl will have to face legally?
Defense is always an excuse which is given for murder. If an offense like this is committed, then defense, self-defense, what we call, is an excuse. It is an exception. It is
Okay.
acceptable. You
Okay.
have to. Yeah.
okay. Now, okay, now, you talked about the law protecting does it include minors as in males and females, or only females?
Yes, this particular act includes everybody, male, female, below the age of 18 is what is defined as child.
Okay, so it's not only about the female.
No, not only about the female, because a lot of boys also are abused, and
Yeah,
probably even the children don't know that they are being abused.
Yes.
Because they are mostly caregivers or well-wishers, and they fondle around the child. After a particular time, probably the child gets to know, that the child has been going through this unwanted thing, and because they are caregivers, they probably wouldn't know what to do about it.
Yes.
So the male child is also included.
Correct,
Yes.
correct. I just wanted to clear that out. Now, finally, I think this will be the final question, Lawyer Priya. I think this will be the final question, I hope, okay? Now, people are scared about certain cities in India because of the news and the headlines that are just pouring out about events that's coming up, and that's going on and that has taken place. Now, as a legal practitioner, will you say something to those people? For example, they have admission into a college in New Delhi and they're scared to go without parents, or someone has a friend, wants to visit a friend in New Delhi and they are so scared to go, they feel terrible about it. Please, as a legal practitioner, what do you have to say to these wonderful Indians and as well as even foreigners could be?
No, it is not so bad. It is just not so. We are living there for the past 15 years or so, and there's nothing. We live in a safe neighborhood. There are untoward incidents happening, and definitely things are getting more noticed these days. It was not that it was not there. I think right from Bible days, all these things have been going on. Probably the awareness of it has, in fact, put a lot of fear in people.
Yes.
So I think in a way we need to just drive off those fears also by educating them about safety measures which they should be taking. And a lot of good things are there in Delhi. It's the capital city and we are safe.
Thank you very much. That's lovely. That's lovely, lawyer. That's wonderful.
Okay, do you have any comments or any suggestion or any tips that you really want to speak to Delhi?
Yes, I would just say that we need to all be more vocal about these issues, and the more we voice out about it, more talking about it, I'm sure the perpetrators will also, try to shut down their activities. It's just because of the hush-hush mentality and the conservative lifestyle which we all go through. That we shouldn't speak about it. It's a stigma. What will happen to the reputation of the family? That these things are being promoted. So I would really advise and sincerely feel that a lot more such things of talking about it should happen, so that the silence is broken and people are more bold about it. So it's just a good touch and a bad touch. If it is reported, it wouldn't go beyond that.
Correct.
But if a silence is there, then yes, they would continue to do such activities.
Yes.
So the silence has to be broken. So not only in Delhi, I think in India being a very conservative place, we need to start talking much about it.
Correct. I would have commended you, but being a legal practitioner, you are actually trained to talk, and I really like the way you talk. But hold on the line, Lawyer Priya, hold on the line. Now, if you're watching, this is Stop Molestation Campaign webinar online, and we are holding this right from about 2 months now.
Yes.
Okay, we're holding this, and we are going from one state to the other, and right now we're focusing on Stop Molestation New Delhi. Wherever you're watching from or listening from, maybe you're listening from the radio, internet radio, or you're watching from any one of our social networks, our friend, our guest today is Priya Aristotle. She's a legal practitioner, she's a lawyer. I want you, if you want to talk to her live right now, you can call in. We're going to make it a conference call, and you can ask her questions and you can chat with her. You can ask her whatever you wish to know, as it regards to the legal side of stopping molestation.
I think there are questions coming in for you. There are questions coming in for you from Facebook. So they're asking, does the SOS app really help? Will it be helpful if every woman downloads it? Means, is it really reachable?
Well, they've got to download it to find that out.
Will they truly respond on the app?
Could you just repeat, sir? I was not
She
able to
said,
catch
does
them,
the
but-
app, there is SOS app like we have Nirbhaya. There are many apps that way. So she's asking, will it really help when we contact them through the apps? There are some apps now.
Okay.
Google app
yes,
or
definitely.
iOS.
Something like Nirbhaya, they have been advertising it. Does it really help?
Yes, there are a lot.
Really,
Yes, there are a lot of apps that have come. Even in Karnataka, I heard the police have come up with something.
Yes.
So yes, it is definitely helpful. And it's more helpful to be aware and in touch and to be more of a help to the society. Like, you can share about it and educate people also to use these apps and other sources available to help one another.
She meant to ask, will they really respond immediately?
Yes, we haven't had any complaints of not responding so far.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, it should.
Okay, thank you. There's another question. It says, how to deal with molesters who blackmail? What if they ruin the identity of the victim? And how does the law help in these cases?
They have to first report it, and the law definitely helps. First thing, at least the blackmailing will stop, and the perpetrator will definitely know that he is in trouble. And that itself is going to stop him first thing, and he has to be taken for task.
Yes.
You cannot be going on with life like this. You need to take the help of law.
Yes.
And law definitely does provide for stopping of all these kind of illegal things. It's just a step of boldness that is required.
Okay.
To just come forward and take the help of law.
Yeah, there's a fear in the society because in our last stop molestation, we had a caller and she was asking us how can we assure that the police would protect, because if the molester is a politically influential person and he is into rowdyism and all that, how sure are we that we are protected, was a question to the law.
Now,
Okay, there is an identity protection program which is also given.
One moment, please, lawyer. I know you're going to answer that, but I want to reiterate this information to our viewers and those listening to us from a different portal. Now, I have online Priya Aristotle, a dear good friend of ours, and she's a legal practitioner. She's a lawyer, and she's actually educating people now through this platform whichever questions you ask. So if you call in, we're going to join the call and make it a conference call, and you can actually ask her directly, and we will be listening to both people conversing, and the whole world and also India will be listening to your conversation, your questions and your answer regarding stop molestation, the legal part of it. Now back to you, lawyer Priya. Continue with your response to the question which
so
John
how to
asked.
deal with the blackmailers who are politically, financially influential and who are into rowdyism and all that? How can those women really
I'm not going to say it is going to be an easy job. Yes, if they are influential, politically powerful, it is going to be a huge battle. But they have to do something to stop it, then they have to take the bold step. And there are enough support systems like the NGOs and other social activity people who are involved in these kind of, protecting, and the child welfare committee and everything. So they need to have a support system to help them get over this.
Okay.
And as far as the identity goes, there is identity protection programs.
Okay.
Even if the child complains, the identity of the child, even from the media, only with the permission of the court, they can publish the name. Otherwise, they remain anonymous. The names are not supposed to be published at all. So they should at least try, and if there are any other issues technically, then probably they can get back to their lawyers for help.
Okay.
Otherwise, the law provides for identity protection, which they can take the help of. In fact, when it comes to a child, within 1 month, evidence should be done, and within 1 year, the trial should be completed. So that also, and there is in-camera proceedings and a lot of, other things to help the child feel comfortable and not feel threatened with the people who have abused the child. So it's just that we need to take the help of law.
Okay. Now, I would like to add to that. That is there any provision from the government to really stop this conservative approach to molestation? Why? Because when we begin to put it, it becomes like stigma. It becomes a stigma to the one who's molested, because first of all, there's blame game in molestation.
Yes.
She's not dressed properly. In Haryana's case, they said a man said it takes 2 hands to clap, implying that for every rape or molestation, it takes cooperation from the molested or the victim to get the act completed. Now, humanly speaking, that is outrageous. That is nonsense.
That is pretty absurd, because what will a small child do to, seduce or do something to somebody?
Yes.
It's just a small child. A pervert's mind does work its way, and they do find all kind of excuses to while it away.
Yes. So,
and I think a decent man would never look at any woman, however indecent she should dress.
Correct.
It's all in his head and his heart.
Yes. Now, my question on this law perspective, Priya, is this: is there any law, or should we have something put to the government where this conservative approach of the molested has to be changed? Because when we when we put the identity discreet, we are not able to protect them properly, because this has been there.
Yes.
And we have the callers calling in and saying, why do they conceal the identity of the molested? Because when they conceal the identity of the molested, in the name of protecting the molested, they are actually indirectly protecting the molester.
Yes.
So
It is a choice given. If the child's identity is doctor or the victim's identity, they do not have any problem to reveal, it is not an issue. It is in the interest of the child, because it's a long way to go. It's a small child. So, and our society is stigma-oriented.
No.
It is not anything to do with the law.
No, what I'm
It is
saying
more
is
of the
that,
mentality of the society.
is there a kind of option that we can put out to the government, or a request, or
I
a
think
bill?
we should put forward that anybody who even speaks, as you said about this Haryana person you were saying.
Yes.
And in fact, I know a lot of other top women, at various high posts, who also vocalize and say that women should dress more modestly to avoid all this. I think, yes, there should be some law which would say that, that these people shouldn't even be speaking about it.
Yes.
This kind of traumatizes a woman in every other way also.
Yeah.
I don't think in any way a man who is given to do it, it has got nothing to do with the dressing sense of a woman.
No, it has
So I
nothing to do
think,
with it.
yes,
Has
I
not-
think there should be some guidelines laid down, and such people who speak against such things should be at least condemned,
Now, is there any provision from the government? This is practical question to you, lawyer Priya. Is there any provision from the government existing right now that people can get free counseling if they have been molested? Is there any provision from the government that people can get free counseling?
Yes, all the NGOs do provide it. The NGOs, the Child Welfare Committee, they do have it. And the Child Welfare Committee, if it is a family member who is offended and the child is not safe in the family atmosphere, they put the child in a shelter home, where again there is counseling and legal aid and everything provided for the child.
Freely without charge?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The committee takes over it. The government has provisions for it.
Okay.
Okay, from the past 5 programs that we have been having, we have had calls where many citizens of this nation, they have a question because of the rage of Asifa's case that happened. They have a question
Yes.
that what is law doing? Why don't government punish immediately? Why does it take so much of time and finally they go out on bail?
So that is exactly an answer to what the earlier question also was, about top people, the politicians.
Yeah.
So this is one of the high-profile cases in which such a thing has happened. I don't think if Asifa was not a high-profile person, or so much of, red tapeism and all these things would have happened. It would have been an easy task for the police also. It is because of a lot of, high-profile people who are involved that it took the time. But whatever has happened, I think the law is taking its course right now.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Because many of them calls and they say that they must be punished immediately. So because they want to see justice from the government side.
Yes.
And as the time
Yes.
goes on, the people think that government is really not taking action properly. So it's kind of been
Yeah.
misrepresented. That's why I want people to hear what exactly government is really doing and what is the
Yeah.
reason that delays all such things.
Finally, in the school curriculum, we do have extracurricular activities.
Yes.
Now, I believe that if we include such awareness program, they are more effective and helpful for the future and the life and protection of the children, more than some extracurricular
Yeah.
activities that we
Yes.
have right now in our extracurricular syllabus. Okay, now legally, how can we adopt? Legally, what are the steps for we to take to adopt these awareness programs, not just some one-time thing, to adopt it as a requirement for any co-ed school or any co-ed
Yes.
college or any college
everything,
whatsoever,
all the
okay,
colleges.
how can we adopt this awareness program? What's the advice you give to us? Because not only us here, there are many watching and many who will watch and who will listen to this.
Yes.
What is the
Yes.
legal advice you give to us, to the step to take to adopt an awareness program that is more reliable, protecting these children and these people from being molested, that is very valuable compared to the extracurricular activities we have today? What are the what is your advice to us, organizations like us, Stop Molestation, Stop Suicide, and many other NGOs? What are the steps legally we can take to make these schools adopt an awareness program?
I think basically there should be a revamp of the whole education system itself. However educated a person is, if they cannot protect themselves, or however educated a person is, if they do not behave themselves and be a perpetrator to another person, education is of no use. So there should be a whole revamp in the system, and just like how certain subjects are made compulsory, this should be made part of the curriculum. So that both the victim and the perpetrator, who are in the same school, college, or same society, they would be knowing what is right, what is wrong, and what is legal and what is not. And moral education is supposed to be given more priority than book education. And a lot of, because of the latest devices and a lot of technological advances, and even the family system with both parents working, a lot of, even the government initiatives which are not our political system, a lot of nonsense is happening. I think the education system would be one of the greatest ways to get into the school and into the little ones' hearts and minds, so that we have better future citizens in our country.
Yes, yes. Oh, thank you very much for your time, and for this input is so valuable. I mean, there is no words to thank you for your contribution and this advice you've given to our audience and every one of us. Do you have any other question for Lawyer Priya?
I think there's a question in Facebook for you. They say, does government has any scheme to teach self-defense training freely to BPL that card holders, that is below poverty line, people or women in villages?
The government comes up with programs off and on. There is nothing like, which is more systematic and like everyone gets an opportunity to know. There is nothing like that.
Okay.
But probably the society should wake up and start demanding some of their rights and protections which they need. And the government is there to provide for it. Sometimes we just take, selfish living. So we just are safe and fine. So I think that mentality, if it changes and we all raise as one voice, and through such programs as yours, we raise our voice and we say we need this and we need that, the government someday will hear us and they will start working towards our interests and not just their own interests and needs.
Thank you for featuring today in Stop Molestation Campaign New Delhi, and thank you for your time, Lawyer Priya.
Thank you very much for your contribution.
God bless your work.
Thank you very much. Now, wherever you're listening from or watching from, this is Stop Molestation webinar online live. You can post in your questions, you can post your contributions as well. The number is on the screen, 974-274-3406. You can call that number and we can have a chat live. You can share your experiences, you can ask questions, and you can make your voice heard from New Delhi. Yes, tell me.
That was interesting, very different.
It is very, very different.
To be hearing.
It is very different to hear that she will impute all these things and give us this information concerning the legal aspect of approaching things. It's very, very important. But I'm very, very interested, as we close, I'm very, very interested in adopting proper, reliable extracurricular
programs
like these awareness programs. So like she said, the entire educational system has to be revamped, has to be re-looked in, but okay, fine, that's fine, but I'm just talking about this right now because there are so many people whom, like you said, lecturers, teachers, are molesting them, and they're not able to do anything about it. So this kind of a program is not only going to stop that, but it's going to prepare many generations
Yes.
coming
Coming.
how to
With a very
handle
different mindset.
how
Yes.
to handle these things.
Yes.
Because many a time when every one of us shared our experiences, we didn't know what to do at that time. There was nothing was flowing because you were not taught what to do. So all our esteemed viewers and listeners all around the world, thank you for being part of Stop Molestation webinar online New Delhi. We still have a short time, so if you are calling, call immediately so that we can answer your call and we can get your input for this campaign online. And we can tell, you can, each time this video play, we can hear whatever you have imputed and whatever you said and what your voice is to Stop Molestation New Delhi, India. Now I think we've closed all the headlines, right?
Yes.
We've closed all the headlines, and so we're ready
Starting
to
from
go.
schools are very, very important for our clean tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very important to really touch and impart the next generation that is coming, because doing such programs in co-education schools where there are males and females, even when speaking of these things, I think the mindset of males will be changed. It will be changed, and so much awareness will be given to them at a very young age, and it will really help
Anti-suicide and success campaign
when they
incoming
grow
call.
up for the next generation.
Yes.
It's important.
Yes.
I request all the schools to come up to contact NGOs
Anti-suicide
for the program.
incoming call.
We are open, and likewise other NGOs will be open. I think.
Hello, welcome to the program today. This Stop Molestation campaign online, and we're focusing on New Delhi.
Yes, sir. Hello, this is Lakshmi. Hello, hi, ma'am.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have a question. I was watching one of the live crime story. It was around 2 to 3 years back, where a school child, a school girl, I think she was studying 9th or 10th, and she used to go regularly to the school, and there was a guy who used to just eat to her and pass some bad comments. So she also took bold steps. She went and told to her uncle and her parents, and probably they went and slapped that guy and warned him. But because they did that action, that person was more agitated. He got more irritated, and he kidnapped that girl and he raped her. He kept her in a room for around 1 month or so, and then finally they went and rescued that girl. So here, what is your suggestion? If she had probably left without complaining and she had just gone, he may not have gone through such a vigorous step, because he got the slap, and because he was offended and insulted, he went into a very higher level.
First-
so what is your suggestion? in this
First of all,
case?
this is not a suggestion, this is a shock. I'm shocked at what you're saying. Is this a movie or
It-
is it?
No. It is a real story which happened in Lucknow or UP somewhere. It is a real story.
Okay. Now it sounded like a movie for me.
This is in the.
No, sir. It is a real this thing. We have a
This is
case
in
that I saw it 2 to 3 years back. So because of these kind of instances, what happens is girls, for the small instance, they might ignore it. They think that, okay, this small thing, so why to make it a big issue only if it's big? Because normally when a guy comes and sees us, if he just talk to him, no problem. But if he go and slap him, he gets more rage, and he tries to act violently. So what should a girl do in this case?
Now, first of all, like I said, it sounded like a movie for me. Now you said it really happened. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it's under the category of blackmailing and threatening.
Okay. Now it doesn't go up to slapping someone because they do not have a proof of what he did. Okay, so if you have a proof of what he did, like a CCTV and all that, then he deserves a slap. Or
Okay.
even more. But then if you do not have a proof, but you do know that either your daughter or friend, whoever that victim might be to you, related to you, you do know that they don't cook up stories just like that. So that is the only element of truth you have, that the person would have attempted molestation. So
Okay.
what I'm saying,
Yeah.
it doesn't come up to slapping a person. It should not come up to slapping a person, because if you have proof.
Okay, after the proof, okay, let's say they had a proof and they went to discipline him with a slap.
Okay.
But does it call for him to kidnap?
No,
and
it doesn't
rape
call for him to
and
kidnap.
mess
It
up
doesn't
a
call for him
girl's
to
life?
kidnap.
And finally, he is also now.
No, the reason I'm going
in
from
trouble.
from the victim's part, because the victim's part, most of the time they are not wealthy people. Most of the time they are not wealthy people. They are not politically powerful people. Okay, that will have guards, that will have whatever power among them. So now using your guardian power like parent or like elder brother and all that, your elder brother is not going to be with you all where you go. So that's why I'm taking the approach from the victim's part.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a proof of what the person have done, he can deserve more than a slap. But don't give that approach, because if you give that approach, who's going to be with the girl when she's walking on the street? Who's going to be with the girl when she's alone?
Yes.
The approach
They
that
need to
I
think about
suggest,
it.
yes, the approach that I suggest to warn him very, very seriously. Warn him seriously and let him know that if he tries it again, the complaint is going to go to the police.
Yes.
And a legal measure is going to take towards him. I think that's what we should
The
do.
action must be taken
Yeah.
appropriately.
Yes. If you slap him, you can even beat him up and many things, but then will you
can have a
go with
reaction.
your girl or daughter
Yes.
or sister, whoever that victim might be to you? Will you go with them everywhere? You will not be able to do that. So I think the right way, Raj Lakshmi, is we should speak to that one who's trying to molest our loved one, warn them very well with the proof of the molestation or whatever it is, warn them very well and let it be there, let it remain like that. We should not go rage and then go get out of ourselves and beat him up and do all these things
Which you cannot maintain.
which you cannot be able to maintain. You know, it's not a Hollywood movie, it's life. Yes, it's
I have another question, because this happened to me last week. I was traveling in a,
yes.
it was like I was traveling in my vehicle in a particular route.
Vehicle, someone wanted to molest you on your vehicle.
Sir, I'll let you know. Actually, what happened was, I was crossing when I was in the main road, because frequently nowadays I am traveling in that route, so I don't know if anybody has noticed in the vehicle or not, but the thing was, I noticed an auto which was following me. I thought he wants the way, so when I give him the way, he just goes in front and goes very slowly. But when I overtook that auto and I was riding fast, he was chasing me fastly. I tried to note the number, but there is no name board. So the number plate was not there in the auto. So this happened one or two times, and one more time when I was going in the vehicle, there was a vehicle going in the front, two vehicles were going, and they were trying to take selfies and they were trying to cover my vehicle. So I don't understand, now I'm thinking, is it any conspiracy really going on because I'm traveling in that route daily, or what is happening? So what should I consider from this? Because 2-3 times it has been happening when I travel, especially after 9 o'clock in the night.
Is it the same auto that you
No, auto changed only once, because after that 2 or 3 days I didn't go that way. So I'm not sure if I had traveled the same route the next day. I'm not sure if it would have happened. But 3 weeks back, two vehicles who were going in some minor boys only. They were not even wearing any helmet or something. So one fellow looked at the back and then he told to the other fellow on the bike, and they both, then they took their mobile, they tried to take the selfie. I also saw my vehicle to take a photo of those two vehicles, but by then they went off. So
what exactly did the vehicles do to you? What exactly did they do to you?
To snap.
They were trying to focus me to capture in the selfie.
For what reason? Maybe one is interested in you or what? For what reason?
Pardon?
For what reason they are trying to snap you?
She doesn't.
I don't know. I'm just telling this. 1 or 2 incidents happened in the last 2 weeks. So what should I infer from that? Because I'm not going daily in that route, so I don't know whether it's a conspiracy or some really something going on against me or not. That also I cannot come to conclusion. And by God's grace, I'm safe.
Okay.
So I just wanted to put it across and
So-
ask.
Yes. Good that you said that. So long as you are safe, you have nothing to bother about. And if someone else wants to take your selfie, like a comedy I watched, don't show them your real face.
Actually, I am in a vehicle, so my face, everything is covered. I'm wearing helmet. I don't know still what they were trying
That's
to.
enough. That is enough. That is enough. So long as you're wearing helmet, anybody can look like you
Yes.
from the shoulder.
Yes.
So no one.
No, because it was shocking for me. Normally, when a girl walks, a woman walks and goes, okay, or waiting in a bus stop, something happens. But vehicle, I used to always feel secure because the vehicle, there was no such kind of instance. But for the past 2 weeks, I'm encountering one or two these things. So now that auto person, what happened, why he was going, so that he was carrying some passenger and it did not look like he was following me. But I don't know, it was like around 20 to 30 minutes as I was traveling the main road. He was coming at the back of me, I can see it, but when I give him the way, he goes in front of me but goes very slowly. When I overtake him and go fast, he also comes fast.
Okay. Whatever the case is, you can just like one of our callers said. One of our callers said when she enters into a cab, she calls her dad or somebody just to post a sense of security. You know that I'm in this cab and this number is like this. If you feel that it is very inconveniencing and it's posing a threat to you, you stop in a place where there are commuters, where people are moving about. You stop in a place and you give a call. And you note the number. You just give a call and you note the number down, and that will be the very right approach to do. And you continue your journey. Don't do it like a politician in the sense I will come and deal with you and all those things. Not really necessary, because they think, oh, I have political power, whatever it is. Just be vigilant and careful. That's all. Thank you very much for calling. Do you have any other contribution for Stop Molestation New Delhi?
I just wanted to tell that every girl must carry one pepper spray or chili powder spray so that it will be helpful in case when they come to
You are correct.
Spray on their eyes and then run away.
Okay, it is good because if we can carry a handbag, we can carry what we need in the handbag, right? If we can carry a wallet, we can carry what we need in a wallet. That's good tip.
Yeah, actually in 2012 when this Mirza case and all was very hot, I remember that I used to carry one small knife in my bag so that I can at least cut the nerve of the person if anybody tries to pinch me or come near me. The best for
At least you're very much aware. So at least you're very much aware. So when people are aware, they seem to be kind of safe.
Yes.
But when they are not aware, is the problem. They're just unaware, it's a kind of, I'd say absent-minded, and they become victims. Thank you very much for calling. Calling in to Stop Molestation Campaign New Delhi. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, that's quite funny. They are trying to take a selfie. Then don't give them your true face. Give them your funny face. Thank you so much for connecting live on this Stop Molestation webinar, which is focusing on New Delhi. Thank you for contributing, and we really want to thank all our friends and all our men out here, those who are handling the calls and cameras and those on the table. Thank you very much. We say to New Delhi, stop molestation. And the schools and people there, you stop molestation.
Anti-suicide and success campaign incoming call.
Okay, let's pick this call. Hello and welcome to Stop Molestation Campaign webinar online, focusing on New Delhi.
Hello, sir. Good evening. This is Rasha.
Hello, Vasha. Tell us what you have to contribute for Stop Molestation Campaign focusing on New Delhi.
Yes, sir. Yes. Before speaking regarding this, I just wanted to add an experience which I underwent recently. That was day before yesterday. Yes, I think so. Yes, sir. When actually I was traveling in the bus. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you clear.
yeah. When I was traveling in the bus, I just got my seat and I sat. There, one seat before, a man. He may be around 40 to 43 or 44 years young, old, or he was like just looking at me and laughing continuously. I was like seductively, he was just laughing, looking at me. I thought, what's wrong with this man? Is he laughing at me and he's smiling like this, or maybe he's looking at someone else? I just turned behind. No one was there. So I came straight to see. So I asked him directly, well, what happened to you? Why are you laughing at me? I just, I was straight, straight to the point. He was, for a minute, he just looked at me and he corrected himself and he just did what he wanted to do. I mean, he just followed his way and he did not look at me again. And then one thing I realized is, before this, I had many experiences that sometimes they keep staring. I was like, what's wrong with them? But now I understood that so we have to also be wise in dealing certain things. We need to just adjust, not being rude or speaking words or bad words or something as such, but just be straight to the point and just mind your own business. Rather than scolding in bad words or shouting at them, something as such, so that you will not bring something, you will not attract some danger even to yourself.
Yes.
That's what I believe, sir. Because I heard my own brothers, they were telling, even when women and girls, they are speaking, they have to speak in the way they have to speak. If they speak too much, using bad words and behave as though they have a group of gangsters behind them, as though we cannot do anything, the guys cannot do anything. And if they show too much, guys know to show very well. So even women has to be quite wise, not always like scolding them in bad words and doing too much.
Okay.
So one of the reason one of the information which I got from my brothers. And one more thing, sir. When I was speaking about the Stop Molestation campaign, my brother was asking me a question that, see, you protect women, you protect men, who were sexually abused, and you are standing for them. But there are certain women, they would just blame on guys. They wouldn't have done anything. They're just so innocent. But to take revenge or something, they put some case, like dowry case or something, and they put all this under molestation. So many cases are there. They just put some cases on them and they spoil their life. So what do you say to those people's life? And if these guys, if these girls are doing like this, what will happen to their life? You have to look around and you have to look in this point of view also. My brother, he was saying to me, sir.
Yes.
So what is your suggestion about it, sir?
We actually spoke about it in the last
Stop Molestation, Haryana.
Last campaign, Haryana. We spoke about this and
false accusations.
Yeah, false accusation, and we told women not to take advantage of the privileges that the government has given to them, and not to unnecessarily pull people in the name of revenging or pulling someone, bullying. In return, what they are doing is they are molesting the boys. So they have to do things appropriately. They don't need to take advantage and misbehave. This is a misbehavior from female part. To be taking advantage and standing against innocent males.
We discussed at length in that.
So we have discussed at length in the previous Stop Molestation Haryana campaign. If you go there, I think in those videos
you can share.
And you can share those videos in your social network media.
Thank you very much and for your valuable input. Yes,
I just have a question.
Yes.
So last time you gave me an answer that when I spoke to you, Stop Molestation Haryana, in previous webinar, I spoke a girl who was sexually abused, a 16-year young girl. And so you gave an answer that people should come out and speak, they should not fear.
Yes.
Because fear is a weapon that they take advantage of. So, sir, but This answer is not satisfactory according to me, because I have seen people have come out, they have stood, but they have blackmailed, and on the other hand, nothing works in front of their influence and money. They have put down. And how many people can really stand, sir? I have seen with my own eyes, they don't get justice.
Yeah, actually
So,
today.
how to go about this,
Yeah,
sir?
today in campaigning for Delhi, we had a lawyer online, and I don't know if you were there listening. And this particular question that you asked, this particular question that you asked, I re-referred and asked her, and she answered the question that people really have to come out, and there is organizations and all that to give protection for such children. So they have to be aware of that, and they must come out and give the complaint. And though it is risky, she said, but there is enough protection from police and the organizations concerning children.
Okay, ma'am. Something similar answer itself I gave to some of my friends who were asking me this question, but they were telling, no, you don't know, people are not ready, and we don't have something safer side to say. People speak so easily, but we know what imperial politics is happening. So they're scared for their life, ma'am. It looks like as it's a bondage, you cannot come out. So this is what they spoke to me. But I trust your word, and I think it will happen, as you say. And there are organizations, that's how I believe.
Well, the lawyer has spoken. Yeah, thank you very much. The lawyer has spoken, and she represents the legal practitioner. Yes. So we've got to take the law as
we cannot, as citizens, we cannot absolutely make statements like your friends made statements saying that we cannot really have a hope or nothing will really happen. No, things do happen. And I think police will give, not all the police that you will go to will reject and will take advantage of it. No, it's not so. So we have to do what we have to do. Today you heard a case in Bangalore recently in the last week, or the case that happened because the girl reported, they immediately arrested the man. You heard about it?
Okay.
So it is important to speak out, and they do take action. So we cannot absolutely make statements that no, it's not true, nothing would happen. It will happen. Silence does not help. Silence kills. So please advise your friends not to be quiet about it, but to speak up.
Okay. I have one more question. Sorry to take too much of your time. Yes, sir. But I heard one more incident which happened with my brother's friend. Actually, one of the girls have shown the person who abused her friend sexually, and he was arrested. But he took revenge on her and poured acid on her face, and her life became really bad. So they do all these things. This was a very tough thing which I heard from him. And she was in hospital, and she was hospitalized, and she took the necessary treatment. But yeah, like this, I heard many things like pouring acids on face and doing like whatever they want. In such cases, what would you tell, sir? Because we don't expect all these things. All of a sudden, they do.
Yes.
Like I said earlier, that if you suspect a molestation or you suspect someone to be a molester, it doesn't go up until fighting or slapping or doing all these things. You just warn them strictly, and that is enough. And you warn them based on the law, in the sense that you will report it to the police station if it happens again. Now, I think that approach is enough to silence a molester because he's been exposed. Going further than hitting, slapping, and doing all those things can gender.
You're taking it into your hands.
Can gender this kind of reaction.
Yes.
Pouring acid and all that. I've only heard of love kiss.
Yes. Mostly.
Case of love.
Mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But molestation, I have not heard that acid being used, you know. But whatever the case is, this is our take on it, that you've got to just address the situation as it is. Don't go further than that.
Yes.
You don't need to hit, slap, or do all these things. You just warn sternly, strictly. You just warn them, and they'll be able to keep their tracks and do what they ought to do. Thank you for calling Stop Molestation Campaign this
Thank you,
edition.
sir. Yeah,
Thank you.
please.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, and I want to thank everyone for participating. I want to thank all our
Thank you.
cameramen and those who are and our operator on the set, operating, everyone on the desk, mixing, everyone. Thank you, and all our audience out there also who are listening and imputing their questions. Thank you. Till we'll see you next. When's the next campaign? And what
Friday.
state is
Next
that?
Friday,
What
Kerala.
state will that? Kerala! Wow! I missed that shout from the studio. Probably in Kerala, I'll put a shout from the studio, you know. Wow, thank you. So Kerala, here we come. Stop Molestation Kerala. That's next Friday. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. See you next Friday.
you.
Stop Molestation.
There's something about that name, the great high priest, that one who ever lived to make intercession.
Good times, sunshine, gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies, push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground, turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. A beautiful day, a beautiful day, beautiful day. There's a beautiful day headed your way. Keep your head up.